Hey guys, we are studying what is called telling sentences or declarative sentences now. To declare, I don't know if you'll even understand that joke, but your parents might. I must declare means to say, and it is just a funny way of saying I said. So declarative sentences or telling sentences tell you something, they declare something, and they generally end in a period. What do we know about a sentence? Well, a sentence is a group of words that tell a whole idea. It starts with a capital letter and ends with a punctuation mark, like a period, a question mark, or an exclamation mark. A sentence has a naming part, or a subject, and an action part, or a verb. And a sentence has all the words in the right order so that they can make sense. We're going to be working with all of these things in today's assignment of silly rainbow sentences. A telling or declarative sentence is a type of sentence that tells something. It is a statement. It begins with a uppercase or capital letter, and it usually ends in a period. Okay, so here, this is a telling sentence. It tells you that Ben saw a little nest in the tree. Will you please read the sentence at the top? Ben saw a little nest in the tree. Ben saw a little nest in the tree. You can see the capital letter and the period, which makes it a declarative or telling sentence. Now, please find the capital letter. It is in the word. And where is the period located? Okay. And now let's read this sentence. The small frog is in the sack. This is where the capital is, and there's the period. How about this one? Please read for me. Question, how many eggs does the red bird have? The answer is 5. The red bird has 5 eggs. Notice the capital and the period. Now, when they said something about the naming part or the subject, that's the person or the thing that we're speaking about. In this case, it's a red bird. And then we have the action. In this case, it's the word has, which is a strange one. But it refers to like owning, so that's why it's an action. Okay, and find the capital at the beginning and find the period at the end. And who is the subject? The subject is I. Like to play with my dog. And what's the action? To play. Find the capital, which is also the subject. I can get the bug with my net. And then what's the action? Get, which is another word for catch. I like to read, get the egg. Capital, period, and find the subject, I, and find the action, to read. Now you are going to write your own telling sentence. Write your sentence about an animal. You don't have to write it. We're going to do plenty of writing. But in this case, what I want you to do is to say a few sentences. Here is an example. I see an elephant in the zoo. Okay? Or, the giraffe eats leaves off the tree. Can you think of 2 sentences? Pause me now and think of 2 sentences. If you tell me the zebra runs, you better tell me where the zebra runs. If you tell me the lion roars, you better tell me why he roars. If you tell me the monkey is swinging, tell me where he's swinging from. And if you tell me that the tiger has stripes, you better tell me what other colors he has as well. I want to see some first grade sentences. Now, check your sentence. You can't really do this when you're speaking, but We need to make sure that we use a capital letter. We need to make sure that we have a period at the end. And we need to make sure that we tell about something. Okay, so now we're moving to silly rainbow sentences. So what I'd like you to do is you need this page. So you can either print this page or you can just leave it here on your screen. You can actually make it small. And then you can see this page and the rest. And when I move on to the explanation, and I'll kind of go back and forth so you can use this. So the first thing we know about sentences is that they have a complete thought. So in order to have a complete thought, they need a series of information inside the sentence. So the sentence is really well organized in the form of a rainbow. You know, so I like rainbows and I found something about rainbows. So it starts with an article or a pronoun. So I, a, the. A lot of sentences begin like that. An adjective is a describing word. So we could say a color or a size or a shape. A noun is the subject, a person, a place, a thing, an animal. A verb is the action that that subject does. Then we could end in a place or a thing, or this is the where, the when, the how, the why. And then lastly is our ending punctuation. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause now and to open up my Ladybug screen so that you can see the rainbow sentence pages. Okay, so here are the two pages. You can see that Mrs. Smith printed out in black and white, so I drew and I traced a border in the color from the website. And then we also need the rainbow sentence page, but I'm going to put that off to the side for the moment. What I'd like you to do is carefully cut out each one of these colors. And I'm going to show you how I want them to look. We are going to be very careful and not cut off the color on the outside because we need that color. If I accidentally cut it off, I should just color it again. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause my video so that I can cut out each of my squares, and you should do the same. Both pages need to be cut out, please. See you soon. Okay, so here are each of my cards, and they're all cut out. So what I need to do now is I need to put them in rainbow order. So I'm just going to make small piles of each of the cards in the correct order of the rainbow. So why don't you do this at the same time that I am? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in order. You can't see them, they're a little bit off the screen, but what I've done is I've put them in order on my desk or my table surface that I'm working on. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to build sentences. And these will be silly, which is the whole purpose, but they help us to see what a complete sentence looks like. So first, let me show you what a sentence would have looked like in kindergarten. A girl sleeps, period. We have a capital, we have the subject, we have the action, and we have the punctuation point. This is a complete sentence. It has a complete thought, it has all the things needed. However, you'll notice it's missing all of the other colors of the rainbow. It is not a full sentence. It is not the kind of sentence that I want to see for first grade. So let's add some in. How about a happy girl sleeps in the barn, period. There we go. A happy girl sleeps in the barn. So we still have the girl, but we know that she's happy. And we know that she's sleeping, but we also have said where she's sleeping, and then we add. So this is a complete sentence. So what I'd like you to do is to make a variety of sentences using your different cards. Try to find the silliest sentences. So let me find another one. I'm going to put these two back. I'm going to put this one back. right, how about this silly sentence? A red monkey sleeps in the clouds. Oh my gosh. A red monkey sleeps in the clouds? Very silly. May not be a real sentence, but it is a complete sentence. It has a complete thought. It has a subject. It describes the subject. It has an action. It tells us where or when or how or why. It has the punctuation at the end, and you can't really see it, but here's the article at the beginning. Okay, so here's your job. Your job is to make a variety of silly sentences. You are supposed to try to make 4 different silly sentences and then write the sentence on the line. I'm going to give you an example using my monkey sentence now. So what I did was I have this paper over here, and here are my cards in front of my computer, you can see. And now I'm going to rewrite that sentence on the line. I'm going to make sure that I begin with a capital letter. Going to make sure that I am using proper handwriting, that my letters are either go up to the sky if they're supposed to, or they stay below the fence if they are supposed to. Not that you could see that because it's too bright, it's like the sun. Okay, and you'll notice that I have a finger space in between each word. You should as well. A red monkey. You'll notice that I used the Danelian K. You might want to try to use that today. Sleeps. That's the action. Space. In the clouds. Period. Notice the period at the end. If I needed to, I could have gone to my second line. Now, if you want to be really tricky and you want to really show your understanding, you could underline each part of the sentence with the color that it needs. So we have the article, we have the adjective or the describing word, we have the subject, we have the verb or the action, we have where or how or why it happens, and then lastly, the punctuation mark. This is a really good way for you to make sure that when you're completing your sentences, you include each part of a complete sentence. All right. I wish you happy silly sentence making. I can't wait to see more about your silly doctors who sing at the park and other silly things. Can't wait to read them. Talk to you guys soon.